It's been said that the best song you've ever written is the one you're writing right now. It's really true, isn't it? Right now, the things on your mind, coupled with all of your cumulative expertise, your musical skills, and your musical passion, can cause you to write a song that's artistically as advanced as you've ever written. But now comes that hardest part, how to begin when you're faced with that blank sheet of paper. I've written many songs, and the writing process for each one is just a little different from all the others. But there are some things I've learned that really help me to get started. You can use these ideas for any style, any genre. Make them your own. Here are my top 5. The first technique is to improvise until you happen upon something you like, something you can use for your song. Now, lots of songs are written that way these days. Our mainstream music is improvisational at its core. The composer improvises, makes it up as they go along, then settle on some phrases or chord patterns that they like and write them down. It can be a particular riff. Stephen Sondheim, the innovative, world-famous composer of Broadway shows like Into the Woods, Sweeney Todd, and A Little Night Music, was asked in an interview how he came up with such original, even outlandish ideas for his songs. He said, "Sometimes I just fumble around on the keys. I've tried it, and it can work." Here are segments from a couple of my songs that came into existence after I did my own fumbling around on the keys. In each one of these, I found an idea, a phrase or a feel that I thought was cool. Then I built a song around it, and it worked out pretty well. The second technique is almost a refinement of the first. Start simply, and with 2 or 3 chords that repeat, then improvise a melody to go with it. Back and forth, tweak the chord pattern, the progression, until you start getting excited about it. And do the same for the melody you're superimposing over the top. Make the rhythm catchy, make the melody memorable, even epic. Here's an example of a chord progression that uses similar chord shapes over and over with a catchy rhythm. Then I'll add a melody on top that I improvised, tweaked over and over, and finally settled on. The third method I'll use to start writing a song is to think first about what sort of song I want to write, asking some critical questions up front. I'll ask myself what mood I want to convey. What sort of shape do I want the overall song to take? For example, I might have the desire to create a driving song, a powerful, active song. Okay then, what sort of instrumentation do I think would work well? Is it a song for a band or for a solo instrument? Is it a guitar song or a keyboard song? Or a song for a driving ukulele? Ooh, now there's a sound you don't hear every day. Let me think about that one. For me, with my particular background, I wanted a busy, repetitive keyboard along with distorted power chords on the guitar. Add bass and drums, and here's what I came up with. Kind of an 80s vibe. When I wanted something that would groove, I decided to start with an upbeat 6/8 framework with an easygoing feel and put a lyrical melody on top of it. And when I wanted something kind of melancholy, I started with a mildly different chord structure, then put a plaintive melody on top. The original version of this one used a flugelhorn for the melody. In each case, I started by imagining what sort of song I wanted to write, then wrote down some parameters, like what instruments to use, what sorts of chords to play, and how fast or slow to play. The majority of my songs have lyrics. I've been asked, what comes first, the lyrics or the music? The answer is yes. My fourth technique is, in fact, to start with the lyrics. Do you have a topic? What are you writing about? Many of my songs have been written for musicals, and so the notion of what topic to write about is almost baked in. And once you've got the topic, take some time to brainstorm words and phrases that might serve you well. We did a musical at my church that was a courtroom drama. And the opener, the first song, was going to be sung by a group of reporters assembling outside the courthouse.
News, I've got news. It's a story I could not refuse. Wait, don't be late. I've a deadline to meet, can't be late. Accusation, human frustration. But it's sure to be a media sensation. There's a battle that is brewing. It's an age-old fight between wrong and right.
So I came up with a list of words that sounded like they might fit together in a news story or in the reporter's attitude. Words like deadline, accusation, media sensation, prosecution, restitution, resolution. Lawyers argue and exhort. Now they've got their day in court.
Six restitution, but the defense is hopeful for a resolution.
I gave it a fast pace, made it sound a tad breathless, and there it was, the opener.
Fascinating journalistic piece. Patience, please, while information is released.
The fifth technique I use is to keep adding to a playlist on iTunes or Spotify. You can use whatever music software system you like. And I label that composition inspiration. I listen to music often, and when I hear a song that has a cool thing in it, something that grabs my attention, something really well done or unique, something that causes me to go, ooh, I wish I'd written that. When I hear that, I'll hit the Shazam app on my phone to identify the song. And at some point, I'll go through my newly discovered songs and I'll add them to my inspiration playlist. It might be because I thought the key change was particularly well done, or the bass line got me moving in my chair, or the lyrics said things in a way that was refreshing to me, and lots of other reasons. But I'll collect them, put them in my playlist, then go through that playlist as I start to write. What new ideas are inspired in me because of these songs? Along the same lines, I used to listen to an artist almost exclusively until I wrote a song in their style. Like I listened to the Little River Band a number of years ago. Learned a few of their songs, started figuring out why they sounded the way they did. When I was able to write a song that I could hear them in my head singing, then I moved on to another artist. I probably did that half a dozen times. It was very instructive. Helped me to get out of my own box and try some new things. So there are my top 5 ways to start writing that new song. If you're staring at that blank page, try 1 or 2 of these techniques and see what sorts of new ideas cross your mind. And I hope you have as much fun writing music as I do. And I hope these techniques will help you soar to new heights with your songs. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.